I can do. That's all the moves you're getting out of me tonight. Because my kids have destroyed me, that's why. Kids will do that, man. Let me tell you something. Anybody here teach kids, work with kids, know kids? Man, they will definitely send you to a life of crime and drugs. That's what happens. They are out of control. It's real. I had 2 kids within 2 years, and there's a term for that. Suicidal. With the first baby, the doctor said, you know, when the pain gets to be too rough, just call us and we'll give you a pain blocker. And I said, too late. You should have given me that pain blocker for the first 5 years of my marriage. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, I have a crazy mother-in-law. All right, let me make it clear. I'm a black woman with a Jewish mother-in-law, okay? So you know the only thing we have in common is that we don't want to get our hair wet. Hey! So you know there was drama when we got the sonogram results because she was very excited in her Jewish mother-in-law way. Okay, now that we know we're having a little girl, what I would like to know is what you plan on naming that little chachka, okay? Okay. Now I realize there's a difference in your background with the African-American, colored, whatever you people call yourselves these days. But see, the problem is I don't want a name that's difficult to pronounce like Shaniqua. I'm thinking of a name short but delicious like Hadassah or Goldie. What do you say? What do you say? Delicious. Now, you don't have to be a Jew to know those are some jacked up names to be given to little black kids, you know what I'm saying? They cannot be running around in Harlem with their cousins Rashida talking about, yo Hadassah, yo Goldie, yo my sisters, what's up? But there was drama from the moment I met my mother-in-law. Have you ever known there was going to be a problem? Like you just knew right off the bat? And I knew it was a problem because my husband decided to introduce me to his mother for Passover. For Passover. How wonderful. In the car, on the way to that Passover Seder, he leaned over with those big brown eyes and he looked at me and said, look, we're not going to tell Mommy you're black. I said, well, that's so smart because she'll never notice. She noticed, and that's when I noticed that Jews can't whisper. Have you noticed this, ladies and gentlemen? It's a phenomenon. It's unbelievable because Latinos know how to whisper. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they're right. And you know a brother could whisper in a heartbeat. Brothers be like, see what I'm saying? We don't know what we're saying, but we know how to whisper, and that's the point. And I met her for the first time. I said, Ruthie, thank you so much for having me. She said, the pleasure's all mine. Have a seat. Elliot, put my pocketbook away. Have a seat. Then I met the best friends for the first time, Edie and Mordecai. And you know these are not jokes because we don't have Mordecais in the hood, and if we do, they're collecting rent. Hey! All right, so Edie is this big, blonde, Hungarian Jewish princess with green eyes, blue eyeshadow. Every time blinking her eyes, she looks like traffic lights saying, go, 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 go. You know, sweetheart, Ruthie says to me that you say you're black and you're such a beautiful girl. Why do you want to say these things about yourself? Really, I'm school teacher in Brooklyn for 23 years. I think I know the black people. Believe me, you're not black. So I said, thank you, and then I stole her wallet. What can I tell you? These are things I have to live with. Happiness is being a mother. Happiness is being a mother. And I'm really a different type of mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like your average everyday mom that goes to these parent conferences, you know, with, you know, like a good attitude. I have a bad attitude, all right? I got a bad attitude. Because I decided to send my kids to a private school, a Jewish private school. So that's a great thing. It should be. Except I'm getting phone calls that would never ever happen on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? I get phone calls all the time. They're like, oh my God, today, Mrs. Offren, your daughter Aviva was doing cartwheels on the playground. My question is, was she wearing underwear? That's all I want to know. With all due respect, where I'm from, when you call a parent, that kid better be packing heat. That's all I'm saying, all right? Now I gotta put out the joint, stop watching SpongeBob, and get all paranoid because you called. I need to have that kind of aggravation going on. Then she calls me again. This is principal, drives me crazy. She says, I mean, this is really becoming a problem because she's really not participating properly when we're playing Simon Says. When Simon says sit down, then you sit down when Simon says sit down. But you don't sit down if Simon says don't sit down. I said to myself, Sunda says, I'm putting a foot in your ass. That's what Sunda says, all right? That's what I decided. For all the money I spend, you're calling me about Simon Says? This is second grade, Simon Says? So I went off that day. Then they called me again. This time they said, oh, you're going to have to come to school for this one. I'm thinking, what did you do? Pack a dildo in her lunchbox? What's the story? What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? And I tell her, what's the problem? What's your problem? I get there, and you know what they tell me? They said, today your daughter said the F word in class. I said, fuck. I'm just the wrong mother. I'm just not a good mother that way. You know what I'm saying? Because like LA is just so full of love and butterflies and flowers. I'm just so full of meanness and hate and evilness. You know what I'm saying? Because I do this for a living. I tell jokes for a living. And a lot of the moms don't work. And where I send my kids to school, they say to me, they look at me with a straight face with that one eyebrow going across. They say, why do you work? I'm only kidding, believe me. I gotta tell you something. I go to school with Persian mothers. These are the most beautiful women that God blew breath in. Honest to God, these are beautiful women. They are so gorgeous. I don't know how they do it. They came out of the womb with eyeliner, and it never smears. And it never smears. It's phenomenal. My whole school world is phenomenal. It's not like a normal day when you went to school, because these are the names I hear throughout my school all day. Brandon. That means Brandon. Jonathan. Dude, that's Jonathan. Niga. I said, hold up now, you're talking about me. It's a phenomenon I've never experienced before, because you know the other thing is when you go to their homes, it's like, you know when you have play dates when you're a kid, you go and you play in the backyard. You go to these Persian homes, you need knee pads, arm pads, you need helmets, everything's made of marble. I'm petrified. Kids, I walk in, how you doing? I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to get up off the floor. I said, Mitra, can you help me? She said, oh, she's so funny, she's comedian. So funny. Oh my God, look at her. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. She is so funny. So it's like kind of different from where I'm from back east. You know, we got a lot of Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombianos, you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different scene. Like for example, when you have rice in a Persian home, they burn the rice. Did you know this? What's it called? Somebody knows. Tatik. What is it? Tatik. I went out with him. Anyway, tatik, right. It's in the beginning, you don't know this. It's tatik. You see what we learned today? You learned something new. When you're from a black family, that's called burnt rice. You burnt up the rice. That's what that shit's called. That's motherhood. I'm talking about motherhood. I'm a totally different mother, and my daughter's a dancer, and she's in gymnastics, both of them, right? This ain't woo, okay? Because she's in this friggin' private school, so you know what I'm talking about. So she takes dance classes, Debbie Allen Dance Academy, all right? Give it up for Debbie Allen Dance Academy, ladies and gentlemen, come on. Her teacher's here tonight somewhere saying, please don't point me out. She has a Russian teacher who's like 6 foot tall and gorgeous, and I'm just like, I take her class also, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself after this, all right? You ever feel that way after a stretch class when you're like, my body isn't supposed to go this way? Some mothers should just stay home, really. Yeah, they should. Either that or take a good Valium. And so what happens is that when you send your kid to like the Debbie Allen Dance Academy and then send them to a Jewish school, it just doesn't go the same, right? Because she's like, Hatikva, and I'm like, oh my God, you can't do that to Hatikva. It's just not a good thing. So I'm really like a crazy mom because now I realize in the world of gymnastics, it's ruled by Russians, Armenians, and those lying son of a bitch Chinese girls who are 24 years old, and I know it, all right? They're not like 6 and 7. One girl was like, come on, let's go get a beer. I was like, listen to that. I'm like an insane mother. I don't belong at these meets. I'm not that kind of mom that's like, go girls, go Tova, go Viva, go. I'm like, you better get out there and kick some ass. That's what you need to do or I will kick your ass. Because let me tell you something, an ass whooping go a long way. Black people know about that, right? White people have no idea. No clue, right? That's why they become serial murderers. But you know something? You have a black mother and see how that tune changes. My mother would say, wait, and a black mother makes you get the weapon, remember? You ever have a mother do that? Go get me that belt so I can beat your ass, too short to shit. Now you have no idea why you're constipated for the rest of your life, but you'll never forget your mom. So I'm at this gymnastics meet, and they're all, I don't understand a word they're saying, that's pissing me off, right? I'm looking around, I'm like, wow, like there's no blacks, no Italians, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different, I'm wondering why. And I could tell you why. They gave my daughter a score of 8.75, and then they made a mistake and said it was 5.0 on the score. All the other parents sat there. I was the mom that jumped up and said, "Get the fuck out of here! Give it back to her! I'll kick somebody's ass!" So I'm not having fun being a mom these days. But that's okay, because that's what it's all about. I'm not trying to tell you people to stay on the pill or have the abortion. What I'm telling you is to enjoy the children. Because they're always trying to put kids on drugs these days. That's what's freaking me out. That's how this whole thing started with me. Like, I start going to these meetings and they're telling me, the principal's telling me, you know, you should really consider medication. And I'm thinking, bitch, you need to consider medication and plastic surgery at the same time. But I don't want to go there. You can't medicate kids for skipping and playing, stabbing, shooting, different story. So that's what's been going on in my life, and my sex life has gotten incredibly better. Why? My husband finally lost 100 pounds. I should be so happy, right? That's a load off my back. It really is. But he's a Jew, so he's covered with hair. It looks like I'm having sex with a hamster. Things have changed. And because I'm black, I'm always thinking of ways of cornrowing his back. You understand what I'm saying? Putting some beads on it. It's very difficult when you have a black and Jewish household, and I'm going to tell you why. Black people would prefer you mind your business. That's just something you should all know. When you see a black person say, "Hi, how are you?" Leave it. Leave it, don't ask anything else. Jewish people have no idea about that, okay? Jewish people say, "Hi, how are you? Are you really okay? You don't look good. You don't look well at all. Like dishwater." It's unbelievable. And so they have a lot of questions. Jews have a lot of questions. And black people don't like questions. And so I bring my Jewish husband to a black family reunion, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Yeah, all right. You're wrong move, let me tell you. At a black family reunion, you know what black people do? We eat fried chicken like we never had it in our entire lives, all right? Like we never had it. Chicken. And then there's something else we do called the electric slide. That's what we like to do, right? All the old black ants get up right there. Come on, sugar. Come on, Willamette. Let's do it. You can do it. It's electric. I'll go make it down the part. Oh, my hip. It's electric. Right? That's what they do. And the Jews have something similar. It's the Hora Siman Tov and Mazel Tov. So my husband sees them doing the electric slide, and he says out loud in the black family, "Wow, this is fascinating. What is this, the black Hora?" My Aunt Lois said, "Who is he calling a black whore?" My Uncle Junie Boy said, "Somebody need to stab this motherfucker. That's what need to go on right here." You see, I have problems that go on in my family that normal people don't have. For example, you know we make jokes. We all make jokes. I made some jokes about a sister-in-law. A sister-in-law whose name I won't say, and I'll tell you why. Because she served me with a summons and complaint. Isn't that unbelievable? Can you imagine this, that I was actually served with papers because they said she sounds like a cat in heat? I didn't say her face looked like a cat's ass, and that's what really is the truth, but I didn't say that. And it's funny, you know what happens, like, you know, in a white family, like an Italian family, they'll call and be like, "Hey, mommy wants you to take that off the website. Take it off." Black family, "Yo, mommy said take that off the website." You take it off. Jewish family, hand you a summons and complaint. Unbelievable what I've been going through. So now I'm being sued, which is so much fun, you have no idea. And these are relatives. These are relatives. They thought it was so funny to call one of my daughters Kunta Kinte, and just because Isn't that hysterical? I was supposed to laugh when that happened. I know, wow, that's deep, right? That's deep. It is deep, right? Because my mother-in-law said, "What is it? What is the big deal? She doesn't understand." I was like, "What I do? Let's make a Hitler joke." No, I'm only kidding. So let's see how funny that would be. And it's really hard when you're mixed too, you know, because I grew up in a real Different situation. Because my father's Swedish, his mother was a Jew. But it doesn't count because it's on the father's side. Did you know that about Judaism? If it's on the father's side, it doesn't count. But if you, being a white woman, had a sister who had a chihuahua, who had a parrot that was like a quarter black, you're black. It's unbelievable how this operates. It's unbelievable. So as a result, I have a sister who's all white, and I have a brother who's all black, and he's with the Nation of Islam, and he's out of his mind, okay? He's completely out of his mind. And I said to him, you have got to start selling bean pies or something. You've got to do something at this point. Because I'm telling you, he's working for a gay man. Not that I've got anything against gay people, because somebody has to do my hair. Hey! But don't you think Farrakhan is gay? Oh, please, he's always like around those young boys, and he's wearing a bow tie, and he wants to be called the fruit of Islam. That's gay. He needs to come out. But things have been very different now. Things are very different now that I'm a mom and trying to, be intimate with my husband. Things are different. Because I remember dating. Dating was an unbelievable challenge, especially when you're in an interracial relationship. Because I'll tell you something, I have one problem that most women don't have. I can't get my hair wet. Yeah, you're Asian, you don't even know what I'm talking about. You're Caucasian, you don't get it. Let me tell you something. You're beautiful Caucasian too. What happens? You go into a hair salon, what do you smell? Hairspray, maybe a little gel. Yeah, you go into a black, Persian, or Latino hair salon and you smell fire! Fire! Everything is hot. Everything is hot. We have burns, we have blow dryer circles right in the middle of our foreheads, all right? But we don't care because our edges are straight. That's the only thing that matters. That's why it was always a problem being involved in interracial relationships. Because what's the first thing a white boy wants to do to get his groove on? He's like, hey, what about me and you, gorgeous? Like I'm jumping in the shower. I said, not today. Not unless you want to fuck a wet chia pet. And white boys don't get that, trying to run their fingers through your hair. And you can't run your fingers through a black woman's hair because you don't know what's up in a black woman's head. It's always full of surprises. Run it through, you come out a crip. It's unbelievable what happens. Because the hair has been glued on, sewed on, macrame, crocheted. You can't do that with a black woman. You just can't. This white guy was like, you're so hot, dude. What the hell is going on, dude? Let's do it this way. That's all he wanted anyway, and that's really annoying. It's very annoying. We have to talk about this before I go. Because you have to be a gentleman. You have to stop that. Gentlemen, why are you talking to us when our mouths are full anyway? That's just rude. It's bad manners. It's bad manners. Baby, when you do this for me, what you think about when you do it for me? Huh? What you thinking about when you... I'm thinking I'm going to puke over your balls. That's what comes to my mind. First thing comes to my mind... Because I'm going to gag. Everybody gags. When I gag, I'm going to fart. It's different. And then nobody's paying for dinner. It's terrible. It's unbelievable. But every woman has said the woman's prayer. Every woman in this room who has had that moment has said the woman's prayer. You know that. When you there with your man, you right there. I mean, it's God, Hashem, you, your man, everybody. Like, you're like, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God, please. Please, God, please make him come and get the fuck off of me. Oh, God, please make him come, God, please. Please, God, make him come. Please. You look at the clock radio, you're like, what is he doing? You make up imaginary shit, you're like, do you hear the children? Kids! Do you hear the kids? And brothers are the worst. Brothers be like, yo, man, I almost lost it, but then I held back. Because I was waiting. I was waiting for you. I'm like, don't do me any favors. Eat, burp, and get off of me. Don't get my hair wet. Don't sweat on me. In closing, I want to say I came on stage tonight a little off, and I am a little off because I come from the heart of the ghetto in a place called Paterson, New Jersey. It's a crazy place to be from. Where I was raised to believe that everyone is a racist bitch because my Uncle Junie boy that wants to shoot my husband, he taught me that. That's how I was raised, He'd be like, yo, man, you see that woman crossing the street? That's a racist bitch. I'm like, it's a nun. She's still a racist, yo. I'm telling you, I know a racist because I was in Nam. He's never been in Vietnam. He's out of his mind, okay? So he's always talking to me about this. Racism, Vietnam, And that's how I was raised, thinking everyone is a racist bitch. But now I live in New York City and LA married to a Jew, and I'm here to tell all of you that none of that's true. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, everyone is not a racist bitch. Everyone is, however, a Nazi bastard. And that is what I learned from living with a Jew. That's right. And I used to be really tough when I was in the hood. I was rough because I was a sister. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was afraid of me. Now I'm living with a Jew. I'm paranoid and neurotic, and I think everyone's talking about me. Paranoid. You know where I'm paranoid? Most ladies back me up. Have you ever gone to the Korean, Malaysian, Vietnamese nail salons that think they're talking about you? I thought it was me. Because when I walk in, she's so happy to see me. I said, good afternoon, my name is Sunda. I've got a 6 o'clock pedicure appointment with Kim. Oh, hello, Sunda. Oh, annyeonghaseyo. Oh, so very good to see you today. You look so very pretty today. You are here for a pedicure. Oh, very good. Come. Time to take off shoes and socks now, because it's time to do soaky. We're gonna soak feet, push back a cuticle, and do a clippy and a toenail. Very good. Have a seat. Pick a color. Be right back. 언니! Sunda, 파리파리 똑같이 돌아서 가리고 드시는 것 같아. Oh, this color girl got a toenail, but it looks like a dinosaur. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.